Mrs. Zimmerman, I put the papers from 8 corporations on your desk, so take care of them, please. I need them done by tonight.
What? Oh, hello, Miss Forbes.
Hi, just take care of the papers, will you? And make sure you don't make any mistakes. Just because you're 65 years old and just a part-time worker doesn't mean you can do a lousy job.
Hold on, Miss Forbes. I won't be able to finish these by tonight. Today and tomorrow's a day off for me.
What? Why are you just taking a day off?
I told you this already, right? I needed you to hand in the papers by yesterday since I wouldn't be available today and tomorrow.
What? You never told me such a thing. Anyways, we need these neat papers done by tomorrow morning. You can't just say you're not available because you're on vacation or something.
Are you being serious right now? Why not ask the manager what to do about it instead of complaining to me, the part-time worker?
What? What do you mean ask the manager? This is your job. Don't you get paid to do this?
Complaining about it by text isn't going to get those papers done, you know? You need to ask the manager what to do.
Huh? Stop trying to make other people do your work for you. Why are you acting so superior anyways? You're just a part-time worker, right? You seem to not understand. Unlike you, I'm actually a contracted employee at this company.
I know that. You just graduated from an elite college, right?
Oh, I get it. So is that the reason? You're looking down on me since I'm new here, right?
I'm not trying to act superior, but I need you to do your work properly.
Huh? What's with the attitude? You think the others are going to forgive you talking to me like this? I'm gonna tell the CEO about this.
Just what exactly are you trying to say?
People your age should already be retired. But here you are working part-time. I wonder why. Do you have some sort of huge debt or something? Unlike me, who graduated from college and is guaranteed to be promoted soon, you're just an uneducated good-for-nothing that receives a salary for doing nothing, right? And to think that I was trying to help you contribute to the company by doing some work for once. What kind of person just takes a day off suddenly and refuses to do work? You're so impolite. Don't you have any manners?
Miss Forbes, are you done talking now?
What?
I only took a day off since it's exactly 1 year since my mother passed away. I'm actually quite busy right now, so let's end this conversation.
Huh? Come to the office and take care of these papers right now.
I can't even if I wanted to. I'm currently 4 hours away from the office.
4 hours? Just where exactly are you right now?
It doesn't matter where I am right now. I can't take care of those papers for you. Period. Will you please just ask the manager what to do already? Didn't they teach you this during training? Always tell the manager if you have a problem. Especially if it's something unexpected.
Why are you just telling me this now? This is going to make me look so bad, and it's all your fault.
How is this my fault? I told you to give me the papers by yesterday, right? This is your own fault, Miss Forbes. Even if you are a new employee, you've been working here for 10 months already now, right? And you still can't even do such basic things as reporting to the manager? You've made me lose my temper. Goodbye then. I'll see you next week.
What? Wait! You're just going to leave? What's with the attitude, though? Just who exactly do you think you are? You're just a part-time employee here. You can't be replaced anytime, do you hear me? You better know your place or face the consequences.
Good evening, Miss Zimmerman. Sorry for disturbing you on your day off. I'd heard it's been exactly 1 year since your mother passed away. You have my condolences. Anyways, We took care of the papers from A Corporations.
Good evening, Mr. Rowland. Thanks for taking care of the papers for me. Sorry for causing a hassle.
Don't be. It's not your fault. I heard Mrs. Forbes forgot to get them to you before your leave. Still though, Mrs. Forbes' attitude is just too much.
Tell me about it.
Yes, it's true that she does do her job better than most of the other new employees, but she just has no respect for others.
She's probably acting this way because she did so well on the project we asked her to take care of to test her skills.
She only did well because you're supporting her. The other new employees who also did well understand that they only succeeded because of your help. And I've been modestly learning from our senior employees and asking for advice ever since. Mrs. Forbes, on the other hand, thinks it was all her doing and is getting overconfident.
It looks like it. Having confidence isn't a bad thing, but having too much is.
So you think so too? Should we ask her to take care of that project?
What project?
We've been asked by headquarters to send 2 new employees to work on a deal we're going to make with D Corporations from America. We were planning on sending you as well to support these 2 new employees. The best in our company are also going to be involved in this, so I thought it would be a good educational opportunity for Miss Forbes. You know, teach her that there are people much more competent than her.
I see.
If this still doesn't work, we'll have to think things through again, though. I don't want to have to fire her.
This proves that I'm the best. I haven't even been working here for 1 year yet. I was chosen to take part in a project involving a company from America. It must be because I graduated an elite university and because of my past successes.
Miss Forbes. 2 new employees were going to be chosen to participate in this trade deal with D Corporations from the start, as a way for them to gain experience and educate the future leaders of this company. How people evaluate you depends on the work you do from now. You haven't been proven to be the best yet. Don't get that wrong.
Yeah, it's not really convincing coming from a 65-year-old part-time worker. Why do you keep talking like this to your company? Anyways, you're only going to be coming with me as support, right? Which means you have to do what I say.
That's not what me supporting you means.
Yeah, stop talking back at me. You should probably watch your attitude.
Funny, because I wanted to say the same exact thing.
Good evening, Miss Erngren. I told Miss Forbes she would be working on the deal with D Corporations from America this morning. What was her reaction?
Good evening, Mr. Rowland. I received some pretty amusing texts from her this afternoon. She says that this proves she's the best, and that I have to do what she says as her support.
I see. I did tell her that you would be only there to give her advice, not to do what she says, though.
Mr. Rowland, did Miss Forbes get into this company using connections?
Oh, so you know this.
More or less. Wasn't the CEO's wife's maiden name Forbes?
Yes, Mrs. Forbes is her cousin's daughter.
I see.
Please don't tell this to the others. The CEO told her that if she uses her position to do harm, she would be fired immediately. I know it's a hassle, but please take care of her for just a bit more.
I understand.
Ms. Zimmerman, can you make the presentation in Japanese for tomorrow's meeting?
I wondered who was sending me texts on my office phone at this hour. Aren't you supposed to take care of that? I'm supposed to make an English presentation based off the presentation you make in Japanese.
Let's switch roles. You make the presentation in Japanese and I'll translate it into English.
The reason you weren't tasked with the job of making the presentation in Japanese is so that you can gain experience.
No, I don't need experience. I'm already guaranteed a promotion. It'll be better this way since I can check for any mistakes you make while translating it into English. If you understand, then hurry up and prepare for our presentation in 2 weeks.
Good morning, Miss Forbes. You aren't here yet. Are you going to be late? We have a meeting with D Corporations from 1500. I also have a few questions regarding the English presentation you made. You see, I don't quite understand what you're trying to say in a few places.
Oh, sorry. I caught a cold and can't speak well.
What? Really? But the representatives from D Corporations came all the way from America, so we can't just really cancel this meeting. That means we have to get someone else to do the presentation you were supposed to do.
Why don't you do it?
What?
I'm saying that you should do the presentation in English instead of me.
Well, I guess that's the best option. The presentation was only finished yesterday, and I'm the only other person who's seen it yet.
But you can't speak English, right? You're just a 65-year-old part-time worker. It can be helped, so I guess I'll have to come.
I understand. I'll do the English presentation in your place.
What? Are you being serious?
Do you have any objections?
Can you even speak English?
A bit, yes. Anyways, I have to go over some things with the others, so bye now.
Stop trying to act tough.
Take care with your cold.
Fine, it's not my problem if you embarrass yourself. Are you serious? You can speak English that well?
Oh, you came to the meeting halfway through, right? How's your cold?
Who cares about that? Why are you so good at English?
Well, I was the head of the International Relations Department before I retired.
What? The International Relations Department? That's the most elite department in this company. And you were the head?
Right now, I'm working as a part-time worker since I had to retire. Also, I studied language in college, which is where I learned to speak English.
You graduated college? I thought you were just a high school graduate.
When did I say such a thing? Besides, you shouldn't judge people on their academic backgrounds.
What?
Well, the presentation went well since I took your place, so everything ended up alright, I guess.
What do you mean?
Your translation was full of mistakes.
What? Like where?
Basic spelling and grammar. There were some parts where I couldn't even understand what you were saying.
What?
We needed to hand in the presentation by noon, so I quickly fixed all your mistakes. I can't imagine what would have happened if you turned in that presentation.
No way! Are you sure I made so many mistakes? Yes, I am. Or would you like me to show the others the presentation you made? I wouldn't if I were you. It's a bit ironic though. Thanks to me taking your place, we were able to make a $5 million deal with D Corporations. What? We were able to make a $5 million because you took my place? Why do I have to be fired? I was just supposed to be promoted and become an executive at this company right away. This wasn't supposed to happen.
You made a promise with the CEO, right? You promised that you wouldn't use your connections with him to do harm, and that you wouldn't look down on others just because you knew him. and that you would be humble and listen to what the senior employees said. Maybe you didn't do anything immediately harmful with your connections, but you obviously looked down on everyone you met. You were only hired because the CEO took pity on you, since you couldn't find a job after graduating, right? Yet you still took such an arrogant attitude. That's how you returned his kindness, so no wonder he got mad.
Please, Mrs. Zimmerman, can you convince them to hire me again?
Why?
You used to be the head of the International Affair Department, right? They'll listen to what you say.
But I'm just a part-time worker now. I have no right to interfere in such matters.
Just try telling them.
Impossible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Please, I'm begging you.
It seems you wouldn't understand unless I tell you this directly. I don't want to work with you, Miss Forbes.
Huh? What do you mean?
You're finished with what you have to say now, right?
Mrs. Zimmerman?
Bye. Miss Forbes faked her illness on the day of the meeting with D Corporations. Not that I ever believed she was actually sick. She was planning on making me do the presentation instead of her. And to come in halfway through to save the day. She didn't expect me to be able to speak English so fluently. The CEO found out about what she was trying to do and got mad and forced her to resign. Her parents were pretty disappointed in her as well. She tried finding a new job, but failed miserably. So she instead tried to get married. She fell in love with a handsome man and they started living together. She now just lives with him and does everything he says.
What are we going to do about dinner tonight? You better be making it this time. Last time you were on a business trip, and you never were home to do any of the chores. Do you think it's a good time for you to stop trying to piss me off all the time?
Do you think you can stop talking to me like that? You've always been talking to me like that, and it's already made me more than unhappy with you.
Why should I? It's my right as the man of this house to be able to boss you around however I'd like.
Sure, but I'm telling you that I hate it, so would you stop? And also, when I'm around the house, I'll do my best to get any chores done for us. But recently, I've been very busy with work and haven't had much time to be home to take care of things. So I want you to show a little understanding with that.
Understanding? What are you talking about, Anna? Why would you want that from me when it's your fault that your work is busy?
What do you mean by that?
Your work and me have nothing to do with one another, right? You're my wife! And so, the only relation anything has with me is you doing your job here, in the house. But if you can't do that, would you rather us get divorced? You know dang well that if you were divorced by me, you'd be screwed!
You said the same thing yesterday, that you were filling out the paperwork, right? Were you being serious? Do you think it's okay to think of that even when you're not as upset with me?
I just want to let you know that I can have you thrown out of here whenever I please. And if it does happen, I want it to be quick for us. After all, a woman like you is barely of any use to me. So, if you continue to not get the housework done for me, then throwing you on the streets should be enough to teach you a lesson.
Even though I have a job of my own that pays about the same pay as you? And I'm working it just as much as you do. I've been getting most of the housework done, right? What I'm trying to say is that you don't even bother to do anything to help at the house like I do. Yet, even with you giving nothing to our relationship, You sit there whining and complaining about all the hard work I've done.
You call it complaining, but to me, it's trying to get you to do your job. After all, it's well known that all the housework needs to be done by the wife. So could you stop trying to blame me for doing what's right? But if you can't seem to get a handle on things, I'll just have to throw you away before you make me too embarrassed. Well, life would be a lot better without you around, you pain-in-the-butt wife.
Well, if you're gonna go as far as that, then maybe we are finished. I understand what you want now, so I'm quitting my job as your wife.
Oh, you're really going to quit now? Well, maybe if you stop talking back to me like this all the time, you'd have time to think about why I'm right. Do your job from now on. You have to make sure you do as your husband says. I mean, that's the only reason I married you in the first place, Anna.
Well, you make a good point. I'm at the point now where I can't even think of anything besides my understanding of you, Bryce. So, that's what we'll do then?
Go ahead! This better mean you listen to everything now, right?
No, that's not what I was talking about, but I'm saying that I'll do as you've asked so that I can make you happy. And so, that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright, already, just get home right now! If you have enough time to talk to me like this, then you must be finished with your work over there. So hurry home now! I need my dinner!
When I'm finished with my work, I'll come home. That's what everyone does, right? I'll see you later.
I'm not going to ask this again. Will you please stop screwing around?
Huh? What are you on about?
How long are you going to be overseas for work? Do you really think I'm fine with you being away from home this long? Hurry up and get home now! I can't deal with your crap any longer, woman!
Who are you calling woman like that? I want to know why the heck you're talking to me like that and what for. Do you not have any idea what you're asking for by talking to me with that attitude? What do you want?
I'm telling you to stop your trip overseas and come back! You think you can just get away with not cooking for me because you have a business trip to go on? It's almost been 2 weeks of you now dodging me! Are you fine with me divorcing you?
What? Why are you saying all that now? Are you trying to threaten me again?
I'm not just threatening you. I'm being very serious about leaving you. This is me demanding that you come home now! Are you going to ignore your husband's demand?
Wait. What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm trying to make it clear to you that if you don't come back to me and make my dinner, I'm going to throw you onto the streets. You can't just run away for a few weeks and leave your husband at home with nothing to eat, can you? I don't ever remember saying that was okay for you to do. If it was going to be this long, I would have explained all of this to you before you left. Come back to the States, right now! You're getting the choice of either a divorce or leaving your job. Choose, now!
Do you not see how crazy a situation you've created for yourself? I have no reason to be listening to you. But you think I'll come back for you? You're a frickin' idiot, man.
What did you just say to me? You think it's okay to start calling me an idiot now, do ya? If I'm not around for you anymore, you won't be able to do a thing on your own. Who's been the one that's put this roof over our heads and food to eat?
And that's obviously been you, right?
Are you saying you're not thankful for all I've given?
Why would I be thankful for you? You seem to be at the point now that you've become so insane that you don't even know what you're saying anymore. Why would I need to be thankful to you, Bryce?
Do you think it's okay to make me this pissed off right now? I won't forgive you for this one! I am your husband, and you've just gone and pushed me to my limits!
My husband? You are very wrong about that.
Huh? You're that much of a piece of garbage that you can't even call me your husband anymore? If you take one more step further, I don't think I'll be able to hold myself back anymore. I'm going to divorce you.
Huh?
You think a wife that leaves her husband to go overseas and is never around to do her chores can just talk to me like that? If you don't get on a plane right now and come home to make me dinner, I'm divorcing you!
But we divorced last month, right?
Huh?
What the hell have you been saying this whole time? I told you last month that we had gotten divorced. We've been divorced for weeks now, so why are you coming at me saying that you're still my husband and have demands for me?
What are you saying? We're divorced? Don't talk to me about such nonsense! Since when did we ever get a divorce, Anna? I'm tired of you always getting this confused!
What am I confused about exactly? I already handed in our divorce paperwork a while back, and so I assumed we've been divorced since then. And I made sure to tell you all that last month when it happened.
You were being serious about all of that?
Why would I have ever been joking back then about that? There wouldn't have been anything in it for me if I'd done so.
Huh? Then we're divorced? Huh? What's going on? When? How did you end up doing that without me ever noticing?
You said you'd filled out all the paperwork yourself, right?
So then you used that?
Of course I did. You had flaunted the fact that you'd filled out all your parts and everything, and so I took it and handed it in last month. So why are you talking to me about this now? We haven't been together now for a month, so why are you coming back to me now?
I never knew that you and I had gotten divorced. I just thought that you had left the house to go on a business trip.
Well, I'm not on a business trip right now.
Huh? What do you mean you're not on a business trip?
Well, I assumed that since you and I are nothing now, and that you're just a stranger to me, I had no reason to tell you where I was going. I'm not on some business trip. Rather, I went and changed my career, and I'm now working for a company outside the US. So, I'm not going to be coming back there to be home anytime soon.
Huh? You're living overseas now then? Since when did you think you could just do all of that without letting me know at least? Why didn't you at least say that before you left? You know that I would have never let you go without my permission!
I'll tell you one last time. We are divorced now, you and I. So why would it make it necessary to have to come check in with you before making my own choices? We have never been that close to each other, especially now.
You say that like we were never even married. You were my wife, right?
But when I handed in that divorce paperwork, we went right back to being strangers. You were the one that kept asking for it, so I went and played along. Why would you think that I'd never hand the papers in?
You're asking me why? Because I never assumed you'd hand them in.
Come on. Did you really let yourself believe that without you I'd never be able to make it on my own? Well, if you still believe that, take a good look at me now. Whose house do you think you're living in right now?
Huh? What do you mean?
Wait, have you already left the place then? You knew that the house we were in was the house I took a loan out on to afford, so it was under my name.
What does that even mean? Huh? Is that right?
So you never even realized that either. Funny, since you had always made it seem like you put that roof over our heads. I at least hope you could have done some chores or something without me. The person that's been able to live with the help of others has been you, not me. So I'm wondering, why are you in someone else's house?
What do you mean by someone else's house? This is our house, right?
You're still wrong. You've been living in someone else's house ever since you and I got divorced. I didn't really care since I had moved away, but I plan to have that place sold very soon.
Huh? You're selling it?
I told you that after the divorce, right? That you needed to leave?
I just thought that everything you said to me back then was you trying to continue our fight or something.
Well, at this point, I don't have any plans to fight anymore. I had already told my realtor that the house would be going up for sale, and that's why I just thought I'd mention it to you. Anyway, before I call the police on you for trespassing, get out of that house. You had planned to have me tossed on the streets after a divorce, but how does it feel now to be told to leave my house?
I can't believe this. Are you really okay with what's all happening right now? I can't believe you've been planning on throwing me out.
Even if you can't believe it, they're all just the facts, so hurry yourself up and get a move on. I plan to come back for a little bit to help with the selling of the house, and I don't want you around while I'm there. And actually, why are you still there?
Huh? You're selling it? Why, Anna? This place was also my house. Even if you tell me to leave this place now, I can't just do it in a day.
Come on now. You've been the one planning this for a while now, right? Whenever I did something you didn't like, you used divorce as a way of threatening me. And even after telling you over and over again to stop, you keep coming at me with that horrible attitude of yours. You never even learned to change the way you acted out towards me, and so this is the price you get to pay. I'm so happy you decided to fill out a lot of that divorce paperwork because it made my decision a whole lot easier.
You're kidding, right? Does this mean you've always wanted to divorce me? Why, though? You'll never be able to find as good of a husband as me!
What? A good husband? What part of you is good?
What the?
If you're referring to all the plates you'd leave behind after eating and the rare occasions that you come around and make a meal for us, I think you're very wrong for making that seem like you were a good husband.
Huh? I was?
On top of that, your hateful attitude towards me that you'd have every day and the fact that you always tried to look down on me really showed me how terrible of a husband you were. Do you understand what I mean? It was impossible for me to be around you, especially when you got all worked up. But we're divorced now, so I don't really care if you understand me or not. So, why have you still not left the house after getting divorced?
You're asking me why?
So you really did not think we were divorced.
Anna, this isn't good. Can you please stop trying to mess with me? I didn't know anything about you selfishly handing in those documents without me, and asking me to leave all of a sudden is not going to sit well with me.
Huh? Do you not see who's messing around right now still?
Huh?
This is all what you deserve after treating your kind wife so horrible after she told you to lay off of her so many times. If you'd wanted to have someone around the house to do the chores all the time, you should have hired a maid or something like that. Well, if you're not even able to pay for the house you're sitting in right now, you probably never had the money to hire your own maid.
I don't want to leave! We're family, and we should be living together! Moving overseas without ever telling me! That's not the right thing to do right now! Can you please come back? If I don't have you with me, I'll be the one getting screwed!
You've changed so much from the man you were before that I can't help myself from laughing. Well, I'm so sorry, but I'm doing great without you. Actually, this is the best I've ever felt in such a long time, so I want you to stay away. Now hurry up and leave my house. You should be able to clean up by yourself by now. You're 36 years old, for God's sake.
My age has nothing to do with that! Please don't throw me away already! If I don't have you anymore, I'm going to have nowhere to live! I won't be able to survive! Don't throw me away!
Who was the one that made a fuss about me not being able to cook for you every day and that you'd throw me away for it?
Did I really say that?
If you can't seem to remember that, then go back 1 month in the text history and you'll be able to read everything. I'm getting tired of having to sit here and baby you right now. Well, I have a new life to make for myself over here now. Go on and enjoy your new life as a moneyless and worthless man already. In the end, Anna moved on and ignored anything else Bryce said to her. And after, it seems that Bryce was finally kicked out of her house. He had lost his house now and had no family to move in with. But since this is the life he asked for, there's no chance of anyone being around to help him back up. His mental health began to take a decline, and soon he couldn't make it into work as much, and so he soon lost his job as well. On the other hand, Anna's doing great with her new career, and she was finally able to make her dream come true of working and living in another country. And deep down, she's very happy for divorcing Bryce and making good use of herself. I guess the way he treated her really did seem to help her out after all.